Zedekiah was the son of one in 20 years when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem, and the name of his mother was Hamudal, the daughter of Jeremy of Libnah. And he did evils before the eyes of the Lord by all things which Jehoiakim had done. For the strong vengeance of the Lord was in Jerusalem and in Judah, till he casted them away from his face. And Zedekiah went away from the king of Babylon. Forsooth, it was done in the 9th year of his realm, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came, he and all his host, against Jerusalem, and they besieged it, and builded against it strongholds and compass. And the city was besieged till to the 11th year of the realm of Zedekiah. Forsooth, in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, hunger held the city, and foods were not to the people of the land, and the city was broken, and all men warriors thereof fled. And they went out of the city in the night, by the way of the gate, which is betwixt two walls, and leadeth to the garden of the king, while Chaldees besieged the city in compass, and they went forth by the way that leadeth into desert. Soothly, the host of Chaldees pursued the king, and they took Zedekiah in desert, which is beside Jericho, and all his fellowship fled away from him. And when they had taken the king, they brought him to the king of Babylon in Riblah, which is in the land of Hamath. And the king of Babylon spake dooms to him. And the king of Babylon strangled the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, but also he killed all the princes of Judah in Riblah. And he put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him in stocks. And the king of Babylon brought him into Babylon, and put him in the house of the prison, till to the day of his death. Forsooth, in the 9th month, in the 10th day of the month, that is the 19th year of the king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the prince of chivalry, that stood before the king of Babylon, came into Jerusalem. And he burnt the house of the Lord, and the house of the king, and all the houses of Jerusalem. And he burnt with fire each great house. And all the host of Chaldees that was with the master of the chivalry destroyed all the wall of Jerusalem by compass. Soothly, Nebuzaradan, the prince of chivalry, translated of the poor men of the people, and of the residue common people that was left in the city, and of the fleers that fled over to the king of Babylon. And he translated or brought over other men of the multitude. But Nebuzaradan, the prince of chivalry, left of the poor men of the land vine tillers and earth tillers. Also Chaldees brake the brazen pillars that were in the house of the Lord, and the foundaments, and the brazen washing vessel that was in the house of the Lord. And they took all the metal of those into Babylon. They took cauldrons and flesh hooks and psalteries and vials and mortars and all brazen vessels that were in service. They took also water pots and vessels of incense and pots and basins and candlesticks and mortars and little cups, how many ever golden, and how many ever silveren. The master of the chivalry took 2 pillars and 1 washing vessel and 12 brazen calves, and were under the foundaments which King Solomon had made in the house of the Lord. No weight was of the metal of all these vessels. Forsooth, of the pillars 18 cubits of height were in 1 pillar, and a rope of 12 cubits encompassed it. Certainly the thickness thereof was of 4 fingers, and was hollow within. And brazen pommels were on ever either, and the height of 1 pommel was of 5 cubits, and works like nets and pomegranates were on the crown and pillar, crown and compass. And the pomegranates were 96 hanging down, and all pomegranates were encompassed with 100 works like nets. And the master of the chivalry took Seraiah, the first priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, and 3 keepers of the vestiary, and of the city he took 1 chaste servant and honest, that was sovereign on the men warriors, and 7 men of them that saw the face of the king, which were found in the cities, and a scribe, prince of knights, that proved young knights, and 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the midst of the city. Forsooth, Nebuzaradan, the master of chivalry, took them, and brought them to the king of Babylon in Riblah. And the king of Babylon smote them, and killed them in Riblah, in the land of Hamath, and Judah was translated from his land. This is the people whom Nebuchadnezzar translated in the 7th year, Jews, 3003 and 20. In the 18th year, Nebuchadnezzar translated from Jerusalem 802 and 30 persons. In the 33rd year of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuzaradan, the master of chivalry, translated 705 and 40 persons of Jews. Therefore all the persons were 4,600. And it was done in the 37th year of the passing over of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, in the 25th day of the month. Evil Merodach, king of Babylon, raised in that year the realm of the head of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and led him out of the house of prison, and spake good things with him. And he set the throne of him above the thrones of kings that were after him in Babylon, and changed the clothes of his prison. And Jehoiakim ate bread before him ever, in all the days of his life. And his meat, everlasting meats, were given to him of the king of Babylon, ordained by each day, till to the day of his death, in all the days of his life.